The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. At that time, Jesus said to his disciples, "There was a rich man who had a steward, and charges were brought to him that this man was wasting his goods. And he called him and said to him, 'What is this that I hear about you? Turn in the account of your stewardship, for you can no longer be steward.' And the steward said to himself, 'What shall I do, since my master is taking the stewardship away from me? I am not strong enough to dig, and I am ashamed to beg. I have decided what to do, so that people may receive me into their houses when I am put out of the stewardship.' So summoning his master's debtors one by one, he said to the first, 'How much do you owe my master?' He said, 100 measures of oil. And as he said to him, 'Take your bill and sit down quickly and write 50. Then he said to another, 'How much do you owe?' He said, 100 measures of wheat. He said to him, 'Take your bill and write 80. The master commended the dishonest steward for his prudence, for the sons of this world are wiser in their own generation than the sons of light. And I tell you, make friends for yourselves by means of unrighteous mammon, so that when it fails, they may receive you into the eternal habitations. He who is faithful in a very little is faithful also in much. And he who is dishonest in a very little is dishonest also in much. If then you have not been faithful in the unrighteous mammon, who will entrust you to the true riches? And if you have not been faithful in that which is another's, who will give you that which is your own? No servant can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or he will be devoted to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon." The Gospel of the Lord. Pilgrims of hope, together in prayer. So it's good to be here again after about 3 years or 4. From the time I left here towards the end of 2021, I suppose. It was not, which month was that? Was it November or October? Can't remember, but towards the end. And I thank God that the Lord has kept me, and I still depend on Him, like all of us. And today I've come to give thanks to Him for the many years that He has given me to serve Him in His vineyard. And many years, about 10 and some months, or let's say 11, I was working here with you. For those who are with me, or who are, I found here and I left here, where we started when I came in 2011, I think in the month of February. And the Lord has been faithful. And so in the 25 years, this is a parish that I stayed for quite a good number of years. The rest, the first parish I stayed for like 2 months. The second one, I stayed for 1.5 years. The third one, I stayed for 3 years. The fourth one, I stayed for 3 years. Then I went to the office, the bishop's office, where I stayed again for 3 years. And I was brought here. And I can't say that I complained. I give thanks to the Lord, because for the time I was here, I learned a lot from the Christians, from the leadership, from everyone, the children, the PMC, the youth, Eric and your team, and so many others, the CWA, the CMA. I've seen groups growing, associations growing, and even individual families. I became one of you, and I was happy, and I know I really learned a lot and grew spiritually and in everything. Hata katika maarifa, I grew a lot here in St. Barnabas, Ntiseiya. So I give thanks to the Lord for the years that the Lord has given me. And today, when I was invited by Father Mwangi and the leaders, I was happy that I was given a chance to come and I give thanks together with you. And I always say that St. Barnabas was a stepping stone, especially in my faith. Because we grow, our faith grows day by day. We cannot say that now I've gotten the fullness of my faith, that now I know everything, or I know all the tricks and advantages of faith. We are learning, every day we are learning. And also for me, I learned a lot, especially in my faith, resilience, and hard work, and prayer, and many things that I've learned from you, either on a personal level or as a community. There are a lot of things that I've learned for the time that I stayed here. So today, as I give thanks to the Lord for the 25 years Silver Jubilee, which the exact date of my ordination was 19th of August, and this is the day that I was given to come and share my joy with you. Request you to continue praying for me, and especially for the priests, because it is not easy to serve people who have many expectations, and because of our weaknesses as human beings, it's our nature. We find ourselves sometimes to be weak in some areas and strong in some areas, but the Lord chose us the way we are, and He's continuing to mold us as His servants, just the way He's molding all of us as His children, His sons and daughters, and He wants every one of us to be saved. He wants every one of us to inherit the kingdom of God. In the readings of today, like the first reading, we hear from the prophet Amos that the people at his time, it was during a very peaceful period and prosperous. Many things were happening, good things. There was food, the economy was good, so many things, people were at peace. But there were people who were suffering, not because the weather was not good or not because the economy was bad, like the way our country, whatever is going on right now. Kuna kiangazi, uchumi iko chini, people are suffering, people hawana hata wengine hawana mahali pa kitu ya kula. So at the time of Amos, for him he was not a special prophet like the rest who are chosen. For him he was just a farmer. He was looking after the trees, and so, but God called him to go and preach to the people, because he saw a lot of things that were happening in that society, in that community. The rich were getting richer. The poor were getting poorer. The rich were taking advantage of the poor. In their businesses, he's saying, he noted that, those who are doing businesses, they change their scales. Ile ratili, wanapunguza, they know. Even I remember the time when we were growing up, there was no digital scale, so it was ile ya kuwekelea ile mawe, and they used to put something under, because it's I think it had what do you call, Inaitwaje ile kitu inashika chuma? The magnet. I think it used to have a magnet. So they used to put something under so that when you put, ukiweka unga ama sukari ama chochote, mchele, ukienda kupima pale, you find that kitu kidogo tu imeamsha na inasema ni kilo moja ama nusu kilo, So, but the amount of the commodity, the amount of sugar or rice or unga that you have put in the scale, on the scale, the price is the same, but the size is small. But you couldn't know using your own eyes. And I remember, there are people who used to come and check those scales. For those who use them, you know. Wanakuja wanaangalia na wanakuta it has been tampered with. So it didn't start with those people. It started a long time ago. The time of Amos was almost 750 years before the birth of Christ. So watu tu bado walikuwa wadhalimu. So Amos was sent by God to go and tell those rich people, waache kufanya hivyo. Don't do what you are doing. Do the right thing. People are misusing those who had nothing. The poor, the marginalized. They continue to suffer. And the Lord said, no, I speak for the poor. I speak for the marginalized. Those who have nobody to talk or to speak on their behalf, I protect them. So the servant of the Lord, Amos, went to that country and he started condemning the rich, those who are controlling the economy, because they just wanted to amass wealth. Has anything changed since then? Nothing has changed. Even now, the way we are living, we are seeing those things happening. The rich, you have a big business, but your staff, you give them peanuts. Unawapatia pesa kidogo. And you want them to overwork. You can't even count hours. Instead of the normal 8 hours, some work for 12 hours, some, long hours. But the pay is little. But you expect a lot from them. You expect, production to be high, taking advantage of the poor. And if you ask the staff or the person who's working there, why are you still here? He says, okay, I know I'm overworking my body and my mind, but I don't have anywhere else to go. I better do this and get something little, instead of going to languish in poverty without any work.